Hello guys, welcome to another episode of THP Tutorials. It's your boy Seth, and we are continuing with our series on management, right? Introduction to management. Good. Now we'll be looking at the last function of management, which is what? Control, right? We've been anticipating it and it's finally here, right? This is the outline for this function. We look at the concept, right? The meaning of control. Take a look at the objectives and purposes of control, the control process, types of control, and control techniques inside of an organization. We'll be back after the intro. Welcome back from the intro, everyone. Let's get down to business. Control. What's the meaning of it, right? What idea do you get when you hear control? As a management of function, controlling is a process of monitoring performance against goals, intervening when the goals are not met, and taking corrective actions, right? That's real simple in 3 steps, right? As usual, just like all the other functions of management, controlling is what? Is a process. What is this process? Now, controlling is a process of monitoring performance against goals, right? We have goals that are trying to achieve, targets that are trying to hit, right? Now, we have to work to meet those goals. So, working results in what? Our performance. So, the first thing is that we monitor the goals that we set and the work that we are putting in our performance. Good. What happens when the performance falls short of the goal, right? We intervene when the goals are not met. When we are unable to meet our set goals, we intervene. When we intervene, we take corrective action. And that's what control is about. Monitoring performance with what? Goals. When the goals are not met, after monitoring, we take corrective action. That's what controlling is all about. Right. Remember that we said something at the beginning of planning, which was what? Planning is looking for it and control is looking back, right? Because that's the problem with when you're always looking for it, there is a problem. You will not be, if you are always looking for it and never looking back at intervals or momentarily, you realize that it will get to a point in time when the variables behind you will change, right? The game will change and you'll be lost. So as you are moving forward, looking forward, and you are going, you must also look back. And that's what controlling is. You set the plan, the ball rolling, then you control to make sure that everything is going as planned. Alright. Moving on, look at the purpose of objectives of control. Now, why are they the same? What's purpose? Purpose is the reason why you're doing it, right? If you have a reason for doing it, then you have an aim for doing it. That's what I'm saying. So you can tell that purpose of control is what? To make planning effective, right? So what's the objective of controlling? To make planning effective. So it's more or less the same thing. Good. Purpose and objective is the same thing. Alright, so here are some 6 to be specific purposes or objectives of control. 1 is to make planning effective. Planning was the first function of management, right? So it makes planning effective. It makes remember that effectiveness is what? Getting things done. It's concerned with ends, doing the right things. Good. 2, control makes sure that the organizational activities are consistent, right? Because there are goals set for every activity. So when you are putting everything under control, you are consistent in the sense that everything is where it needs to be because it's being controlled, it's being regulated. Before we continue, here's one thing that you ought to know. Sometimes controlling is referred to as coordinating. Now this is so because there are some experts who believe that controlling is too harsh a term to use, right? Like you are controlling people, like you have a remote control. No. So some refer to controlling as coordinating, right? So when you see that here and there, do not be confused. It's the same thing. Moving on, carrying on with business. 3, it makes organizations efficient. What do you know what that is? What do you know what efficient means? 4, it provides feedback. 5, control aids in decision making. 6, it makes organizations effective. Good. All this pretty well self-explanatory. The control process, right? What's the process of control? If I wanted to control the plans that I've made in an organization, how would I go about it? The first step is to what? Establish standards to measure performance. Right? You set the standard. This is what we are trying to achieve. Then you measure your actual performance. Did you meet the standard? So that's where step 3 comes in. Now you compare the standard that you set with the actual performance. You compare, right? Now what you do next is that if you met your standard or if you overachieved, fine. Then nothing needs to change, right? If it's not broken, don't fix it, right? Good. So you stick to what works. However, if you compare them and you realize that your actual is short of your standard, then you take corrective action, like Nike. Alright, moving on, types of control. There are 3 types of control. There's a feed-forward, concurrent, feedback. Feed-forward is also known as preliminary or preventive control, and that's simply speaking to preventing defects or things from going wrong before they go wrong, right? So it's proactive. Concurrent control is in the moment. You are monitoring everything, what is happening, like it's during the process. So during the process of work, they are monitoring performance, they are monitoring the standard to see what's happening. Are we on track? Are we lagging behind, or are we leading? That's concurrent, right? During the process. Feedback is what? You wait for everything to be done, then you look at your data. Okay. So feedback comes after. Feedback control is after, right? So maybe you are done for the day. Feedback control will be looking at the data, the output, the reports, and all that. And realize that okay, we are falling behind. Tomorrow we'll make these changes, or tomorrow we'll maintain this because everything is on track. So that's the difference, right? Now, characteristics of effective control system. 1, a focus on critical points, right? A focus on critical points. When you are making your control, your control system, it should focus on critical points that cannot afford failure, right? So you make sure that your control is very vigilant about that. 2, integration into established processes, right? You already have your planning process, your organizing, leading, right? Whatever process or system you have for your control should not oppose or counter the other system that will take place. It should be able to fit inside, right? Good. Acceptance by employees, right? Whatever system of control you are using has to be accepted by the employees. Availability of information when needed, right? Whenever you need information about performance and whatnot, you should always be able to get it. That's what makes your control system effective. Economic feasibility, right? It has to match the strength of the company. Accuracy and comprehensibility, right? Easy to understand. Good. We look at the final item on our outline, which is control techniques when we come back from the break. And before we go on the break, I apologize for the noise that you're hearing. There is construction going on at my neighbor's, right? It's been for a long time now. So you hear that in the video sometimes. Yeah, forgive us, Sorry, break. Now let's talk about control techniques. Control techniques provide managers with the required type and amount of information for controlling, right? Good. So control techniques, you can break them down into these. You have financial controls. Now financial controls include financial statements and ratios, right? Financial statements as in balance sheet, income statement, and the like. We also have financial ratios like liquidity ratios, turnover ratios, and the like. Good. Budget control, right? There are types of budgeting that we do. You have top-down budgeting. That's top management or senior managers make a budget and then they send it to their subordinates to so their subordinates use that budget. That means right, they meet the requirements of that budget. Good. Bottom up budgeting. With that one, the managers seek information from the lower levels, right? And they use that information to make the budget. So these are forms of control, right? In an organization, you have to control your finances. You have to control, your budget, how you are spending money. Now, marketing control, right? Test marketing statistics, market research. All these things provide information of the right type and in the right quantity for managers to use when they are performing their function of controlling, in the various departments, right? So this would be for marketing department. This would be for financial department, finance, right? However, this will go toward accounting. Are you following me? Yes. Well, you can say that the financial statement, not to go off topic, but it will involve both accounting and finance. Human resource. We have performance appraisals, disciplinary programs, training and development assessments. Right? Now let's talk about computers and information system, right? That's where information technology, that's where I have IT controls. This is speaking to database management systems, right? If you check out our video on management information systems, you know what this is, but this is management, right? But long story short, these systems can perform the work of all of these ones, right? They hold all the necessary data. So the various departments in the organization will be connected to a server, i.e. the database. So when finance needs certain information for their control, they just access the database for it. Right, so this controls, it performs the function of the rest. Right, so that's it for controlling as a function of management. Thank you very much for watching. Please don't forget to like and subscribe if you like this video enough and help us get to 700 subscribers. We'll be sure to complete this course on management. Until then, see you next time.